Welcome to another edition of Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys Podcast, with your host, Brandon Morrell.
Hey guys and gals, this is recording artist Jamie O'Neill, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Tune into the show on iHeartRadio Podcasts and at thesportsguyspodcast.com and at thwn.org.
And welcome inside the Backstage Pass, of course, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network, and, of course, thwn.org. And anytime iHeartRadio podcasts out there, too. It's a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. Of course, the countdown is on to Country Radio Seminar 2026, March 18th to 20th, Nashville, Tennessee. Got some big surprises in store, so stay tuned for those announcements too. And of course, it's always great to welcome back a show regular here too as well, a Nashville recording artist. She's done it all in the industry, great friend of the show. A new album is called Gypsum across all the DSPs out there. Jamie O'Neill to the program. Jamie, how you doing?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me on.
We appreciate it too, and I guarantee you, I'm sure you feel great. It's a new year, of course, and with this album that just dropped there on January 23rd, Gypsum, tell us all about it, and a fresh set of songs for fans out there to hear some great Jamie O'Neill music.
Well, I'm really excited. It's been too long since I've had a totally original album out there for the fans, and we've been working on this for a while. Some of my favorite songs I've ever written are on this album. Old Heartache comes to mind, Slippery Slope, Over New Mexico, and very much inspired by when we had the song Over New Mexico, and I knew I wanted to go out west and do the photo shoot. I went to the White Sands National Park and the Gypsum Sand Dunes. That's what the album is named after. And I feel like just whenever I'm out there, whether it's, parts of Arizona, parts of Utah, I'm just so inspired by those wide open spaces. And it just feels like, especially when you go to White Sands National Park, it's like this whole other part of, another planet almost. It's just incredible to me, and I hope everybody gets to check it out at some time or another in their life.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful area because I love it out there. We vacation a lot family-wise. I mean, Scottsdale and Mesa and the Phoenix and so many areas have grown out there too, and it's just a great area too. So that's a beautiful place to, pick to do some of the shoots out there. And I love this. One of the songs that really caught my attention off there too, obviously the two we're going to play today too, but John Deere Letter. Let's kind of dive into this one a little bit.
Oh, thank you. That was so much fun to write. I wrote it with Shay Smith and Tammy Hyler, two of my really, really close dear friends. And Ilya, of course, used to be in my band, Ilya Tashinsky, a Russian banjo player. Who would have figured? But he is so incredible. And the four of us had a great time writing this song. It's just a really fun song. And, my husband's from East Tennessee, so he's very much a farm boy. He was raised on a farm. He loves being on a tractor. He's been on it since he was like 5. And so, it's kind of like, well, what if you can't get your guy to get off of a tractor? And this song always goes down well live. Everybody loves it.
This latest round of the female artists right now is really awesome. The ride that like Ella Langley is on, bringing back some of the 90s country sound that you guys really grew up on and you kind of helped, invent back in those days, the late 90s, early 2000s with the great hits you put out. Give me some thoughts on this ladies movement now, and not just what Ella's doing, but so many behind her that are finally getting a little bit of that kind of due diligence and notoriety.
I mean, I'm a huge Ella Langley fan. Obviously, Lainey Wilson. There's so many great females out there. Miranda's kicking butt, and I'm glad to hear that sound. I mean, first of all, in my opinion, it never should have gone away, but I'm just kind of glad to hear Zach Top and artists bring back a sound that for me is the reason I do country music in the first place. And the females too, particularly, just doing great.
When you think back to those hits, There Is No Arizona, and of course, when I think about Angels, you guys kind of knew that, the songs like that were just going to be very much on radio and just taken by storm with fans. Of course, I know sometimes you never know with that, but you feel like when you step in the studio, they're still fun to sing even, 20, 23, 24 years later. But at the same time, you had something special back in the day when you guys had those big songs.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm just grateful to still be doing what I love to do and to get to go out and play shows. This weekend I'm headed out to open a show for Lori Morgan, and I just love being in the studio creating, but more than anything, I love playing live. And I feel like the fans are very much there and they love seeing country music concerts. And just with everything that's going on in the world, music is such a great escape. It's such a connector. It's healing. It's fun. It just kind of takes you outside of the humdrum of everyday life. And even for me, it's like I perform shows, but yeah, I get to be around other musicians and I get to see Lori sing and other artists I'm working with. And it takes me out of my life, my everyday life, and so I just look forward to it so much and just hope the fans will continue to turn up and come see us. And that's what it's all about.
It sure is, no doubt. Again, the new album is Gypsum. Jamie O'Neal kind enough to join us here on the Backstage Pass. Time for a cut here off the record to kind of whet your appetite. Old Heartache. And we've heard this before in country music, but you're going to hear it again right here from Jamie O'Neal's version here. The Backstage Pass here, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Crank it up.
I see you made yourself at home. Propped your feet up, act like you belong. With you here taking up my space, sure makes it hard to move on. Yeah, but I've gotten used to you hanging around, singing that same sad song. You're always keeping me company whenever love goes wrong. Oh, heartache, yeah, what can I say? You're my one constant friend when my world comes to an end. Guess you're here to stay till I find somebody new. Stroll to that restaurant, let you rub it in. Oh, how you use that worn out line, it's not you, it's me. Can we still be friends? Oh, go ahead and bring up his name every time I think I'm doing fine. Yeah, and I'll make a cup of tea and you and me can sit down and have a good cry. Oh, heartache, yeah, what can I say? You're my one constant friend when my world comes to an end. Yes, you're here to stay till I find somebody new, and I kick you out
Hey y'all, this is recording artist Jackie Rohr, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream the show anytime at thesportsguyspodcast.com and on iHeartRadio Podcasts. You can also stream at thwn.org.
Are you looking to increase your online presence? Are you searching for a new logo or company branding? Have you been considering more ways to reach the world with your business, ministry, or church's message? Barkley Music and Media is an award-winning design company that utilizes the latest technology while keeping the integrity of over 30 years of customer service. Web design, graphic design, multimedia, video editing, voiceover, commercials, logo design and branding, photography, and much, much more. See portfolios and testimonials online at www.barkleymusicandmedia.com or contact them today at 502-382-8299. Barkley Music and Media, your connection for the best in multimedia. Call today, 502-382-8299, or go to www.barkleymusicandmedia.com. Barkley Music and Media, integrity, technology, and design. www.barkleymusicandmedia.com.
What's up, Farm Flops? This is recording artist Hastings, and you're listening to the best in music, sports, and entertainment. It's the Backstage Pass with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream the show anytime on the sportsguyspodcast.com and on thwn.org. You can also stream on iHeartRadio Podcasts. You're going to be glad you did.
And back here again, Gypsum is the current album across all the DSPs out there too. Old Heartache, and you mentioned we're talking pre-show today a little bit with the music video that we're going to put out there too as well for the website, the sportsguyspodcast.com, for an exclusive look there too. But you know, you mentioned about just the great artists bringing back, you know, your era, the 90s country, early 2000s. It is amazing to put a song like that is written so well and speaks to so many great crowds.
Oh, thank you so much. We had a blast writing it. And I, you know, like I said, I grew up listening to country music and singing country music from a really young age, about 8 years old. So I've heard a lot of different, you know, eras go by. And I think the 90s was a fantastic era. I mean, my first album came out at the very end, you know, actually in 2000. But I got my record deal in 1999, and I moved here in 96. Mm-hmm. So I love a lot of the artists from that era.
Yeah, when you think back to that record, too, a lot of you mentioned those two songs, but there was such a great record. Shiver just had a lot of great writers on it. You worked with some special people. Tell me what you remember most about, you know, that particular record, because, I mean, start to finish, that was one of my favorite country albums ever released.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, it's with Shay Smith and with Lisa Drew, who I wrote Arizona with. They're on this new album. We wrote Over New Mexico together. Shay Smith and Ed Hill and I wrote Somebody's Hero that was on my second album when we wrote How Far that Martina McBride cut. And the three of us wrote Old Heartache on this new album. So a long history with these songwriters who have meant so much to me. Roxy Dean, who I wrote Angels with. She and I wrote Slippery Slope with Robin Lee, that's on the new album. So fantastic songwriters, and I really hope everyone will check out the album because I'm super proud of it, and it's getting a great reaction.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great, the vocals on it, I mean, again, 100% just dynamic. I love it, and there's so many great harmonies on it too. And I know a lot of artists, you know, tell me a lot about their specifically, they have a list of musicians like going into a project on who they want to work with to play certain instruments, and of course, you know, getting to the final production. Did you kind of have a certain amount of, you know, guitar players and maybe, you know, pedal steel and instrumentational folks to kind of come in there and help you on this record, people you knew were going to do a great job?
I definitely think in Nashville you can't go wrong. There's so many great players. I mean, you know, if you can't get your number one, number two is just as good, and number three, I mean, it's hard to choose because we absolutely have, to me, the best players in anywhere. You know, you stack them up against anyone. And in pop music, I know they start a lot with maybe one or two musicians doing it and making the tracks and playing keys but having sounds. But in Nashville, the old school way of everyone going in together is just the energy is so creative, and the ideas. What if we did this and what if we did that? And hey, let's try this and let's try that. I mean, it's just a great vibe, and there's just so many musicians here that I love.
Let's talk a little bit about that second album again. Jamie O'Neill joining us here, the Backstage Pass, again, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. And, of course, out there, too, Gypsum, the current album available for streaming across the DSPs. Brave, I loved Brave so much, too. Another great selection of 11 songs, 2005 when this came out. And what a great way to lead it off, Jamie, with Trying to Find Atlantis. I mean, that was a track that I played on radio back in the early DJ days and still one of my favorite ones to stream today. I love it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a fun song.
What do you remember best about just the album when you look at Brave overall and that project? From the first to the second, it's all about, everybody says, oh, it could be a sophomore slump. Well, no, it's not. Obviously, you came on with a couple of strong songs there, but looking at Brave and those selection of songs and the writing on that one, included Somebody's Hero, too.
It was such a different time for me because I just had my baby. I remember, well, I was pregnant when I was doing a lot of those vocals, but then after I had her and I needed to get back in shape, it's that pressure feeling that you get from the label and everybody else because everyone's counting on you. And I knew they wanted to do a video for Trying to Find Atlantis and a video for Somebody's Hero. So, but being a new mom, it was just like everything to me, having this little baby and getting to take her everywhere with me and making sure she was safe. And it made everything so much happier. And it was just so much more of a meaning for me than, as a single person when I wrote some of my first album, and then newly married and that kind of thing when I was engaged to my husband before that and working on the first album. It's just like every album has represented a different time in my life.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that too, because that plays a huge part in it, family support and having that support system in place, husband, kids, things like that too. And hard to balance all that stuff with work and being a recording artist and family life and things like that. And activities kids get involved in from a young age until they grow up and graduate high school. Talk about just how important that's been for you from your family and just being there for you, knowing you're in the recording industry, in the music business.
I mean, it definitely can be hard. It adds this element of support that's, priceless to have them out there with you, because you can trust, I can trust my husband and say, well, what do you think about this? Or how was that vocal? Or being in the studio. And it's like having people that you can trust that aren't just going to tell you something that they think you want to hear, My dad's always been there as well and kind of part of my everyday decision making. And I see artists like Lainey Wilson, she's engaged. She'll get married this year. And it's just like I can see, I don't even know how old she is, honestly, but I feel like she's a similar age to me when I got married. And it's just everything changes a little bit, you know what I mean, with having that other person and not wanting to be away from them or them coming on the road with you. Miranda's husband's always on the road with her. But one thing I would definitely say to some of these young girls is, don't pass up the opportunity to have kids.
Yeah.
Because if you really want a family, you can do both. But if you had to make a choice, I'm going to choose having my daughter any day.
As a new dad, or say about almost a 6-year-old now too, which is still kind of new there too. It changes you for the better. And honestly, I would give up any day for any careers to be a dad. And I'm telling you, it's just because I'm now the coach pitch Little League coach now for this season coming on. So that's going to be a whole new watching her. And she's the only girl on a 10-member team. Is 9 boys and 1 girl. So
wow,
she's the outsider.
Well, that's very cool. Well, I was a dance mom. I was doing the hair and makeup and doing all that kind of stuff and cheering from the sidelines, and I loved it. I loved every minute of that, and I loved going to the musicals and going to the rehearsals and seeing the plays come together, and just being there as much as I could. And she's about to graduate college now.
Wow.
And it's just like, I can't believe all those years are behind us, because even though it's very busy, it's just so much fun, to be a part of that and to see them thriving and having their friends and having so much fun.
It really is, and watching them grow up and do things they enjoy doing. And I'll tell you what, I love it too, because you and I could continue the conversation here too, but I've got to promote the album again, Gypsum, across all the DSPs out there too. Again, the sportsguyspodcast.com and KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network, iHeartRadio podcast, and THWN.org. Time for a slippery slope off the record here. Gypsum, it's Jamie O'Neill. It's the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned.
Swaying to a song about a golden ring. It's a big moon and a bright sky. Said they wouldn't do it, but they just might. Fall in love, better hurry up. Told her daddy she'd be back at midnight. Down they go. Can't nobody tell them that they ought to take it slow. They just roll. They don't need a rope, going with the flow, slipping and sliding on a slippery slope. Clock's a ticking, daddy's pacing. Back in the bedroom, mama's praying. Lord, just get her home, keep her daddy calm. He knows just what that boy is thinking. Going too fast, making good time. They just crossed the Alabama state line. What they're headed for, they're really not sure, but they're gonna say I do before the morning light. Down they go. Can't nobody tell them that they ought to take it slow. They just roll. They don't need a rope, going with the flow, slipping and sliding on a slippery slope. Pop their sides, set so high, close their eyes, take the plunge. Blame it on their innocence, they're just headstrong, so damn young. Down they go. Lord, they ought to take it slow, but they just roll. They don't need a rope, going with the flow, slipping and sliding on a slippery slope. Yeah. Slippery slope. Oh. Said they wouldn't do it, but they damn sure fell in love.
Hey y'all, this is Lana Love, and you're listening to the award-nominated Backstage Pass on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network, and on iHeartRadio podcasts and anytime at thesportsguyspodcast.com. You can also stream the show on THWN.org. Thanks.
Is your home or business in need of a fresh look? Right Flow Pressure Washing and Lawn LLC is more than just pressure washing, providing professional cleaning for homes, commercial buildings, parking lots, roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, and so much more, including lawn service and landscaping. Our mission here at Right Flow is to exceed the needs of all our customers while providing all of our services at an affordable rate. We're committed to going above and beyond where the job is done right. Give your property the care it deserves. Call Right Flow today at 409-363-2565 or go to rightflowwashandlawn.com.
Hey y'all, this is two-time Guinness World Record-setting rapper D.O. Gibson, and you're listening to the award-nominated Backstage Pass on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. You can also stream the show anytime at the sportsguyspodcast.com and on THWN.org. Oh yeah.
And back here on the show again too, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Jamie O'Neill joining us here, talking a lot about Gypsum and reliving some of the old times out there too, back in the day for the 90s country, early 2000s. So when you put this one together, we've all used that term, slippery slope. How did this one kind of connect the dots and come together?
Gosh, I can't remember what was the initial seed for it of starting the song off, but it was just, you see the young people falling in love. You see like 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds thinking, this is it. And no one's going to tell us we can't be together. And they'll just like do whatever they have to be together. And you think, okay, falling that hard, that fast is a slippery slope. And, you just never know what's going to happen. But parents get scared that they're going to lose their kids and their kids are going to take off and run away and elope and all that kind of thing, Luckily, I have not had to face that yet.
That's another one to connect the dots for exactly using that term, slippery slope. Let's talk about every good country song has a good drinking song, and y'all did justice with Just Whiskey. Let's dive into that one a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a good friend who could not get her fiance at the time to stop wanting to be out in the bars and just drinking all the time and going out and partying, having a good time. She couldn't get him to stay home. And, with any kind of alcoholism like that, it's like you worry when they walk out the door and you worry when they're going to get home. And it's so hard. It's a beast that you are battling. And I mean, in the song, she's saying, you're just whiskey. You're not going to win. You don't love him like I do. So, we're painting this picture of being there for someone no matter what. And in real life, I mean, the friend of mine, they didn't make it, I would say in this case, he didn't want to go and get any help and it didn't work out. But, we wanted to write a song about that strong emotion that comes along with that.
I'll say this too. You hit the nail on the head too when you really just brought a beautiful rendition to this one here, My Midnights. And boy, y'all described a track that really, I took it to heart too, no doubt. Very descriptive.
Thank you. Yeah, we wanted to paint a picture of a sexy time.
Yeah. Did that one justice, no doubt. Let's talk about All the Same off there too as well. Another one that left a great impression on me too from the record Gypsum.
Yeah, thanks so much. This one was written by Dean Dillon and Scotty Emmerich, and I was so honored that they let me record it. It really impacted me the first time I heard it, and I was just like, wow, I really, really want to do this song.
Another just beautiful track off there. Again, Gypsum, the current album, of course, it leads off with Over New Mexico, which we talked about here on the show too. Hey, to kind of finish up, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned a lot of it's family and your daughter, things like that. What are some of your other hobbies when you're kind of not doing music? What do you enjoy? Picking up a good book, watching a good TV show? What's kind of what kind of fits the fancy a little bit?
Oh, I love a good, thriller or detective show. I love 2020 and, investigative shows.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, when I'm home and not doing anything. And if I'm out on the road, yeah, I'll listen to podcasts. I like, comedies and things like that. I love the Smartless podcast with Jason Bateman and Will Arnett and Sean Hayes. But I also love to make jewelry and kind of be creative doing things like that. And I love decorating and interior design and learning about new trends when it comes to that.
The food trend has definitely changed these days. Nashville's kind of blown up now with so many great restaurants. Some of it feels like a test market. Of course, you got your hot chicken, everything up in there too. Any food you could want. What do you like to, I guess, when a night on the town or just kind of going out with the husband, things like that? What do you like to go eat, hang out at, places, things like that? Talk about that for me.
I love Italian food. That's probably my number one. And I do want to try this new Italian restaurant. It opened a while ago, but it's called V in the Gulch. I haven't tried that yet, but I hear that's great. I love Collicino is an Italian place we have out here in Franklin. Yeah, I'm a big, when I go to New York, we hit all the Italian spots.
I didn't try the
that would
place.
be my number one.
The Franklin. I've got to try that place. I was just there a couple of weeks ago doing something up there too on business too, and I must have missed that restaurant too. I couldn't catch them all, but I've heard good things about it.
It's right on Main Street, so
I missed it. I was
yeah.
I was by the factory is where I was doing some stuff out there. So I probably just missed it there as I went into Franklin for some good stuff out there. You know, I'll tell you, you mentioned those crime thrillers. I'm into this John Grisham book now called The Widow. And if you want to pick up a piece of just good literature and just great writing, of course, anything John Grisham does is fantastic. But
I know, he's amazing.
Recommend that to you, The Widow. And it's got some pretty definitely different twists and turns in it too. I'll put it that way too as well. You know, we mentioned those great artists, you know, coming up now today. You look at all the different times we're in now with the streaming and things like that too. And a lot of it with these TV shows too, like American Idol, The Voice, and America's Got Talent, and of course any other, the Road, CBS. Give me some thoughts on the exposure now that, you know, artists are getting now compared to the way it was 20, 30 years ago. It's like, you're right, you don't have to have a record deal. You can kind of stay independent, work your social media. Are you a big fan of these independent music shows?
I don't really love reality shows with the competition and pitting talent against talent. It kind of goes against how I feel, because I feel like it's all so much an opinion. You know, one person you can say, oh no, they're the better singer, but like, oh no, they're the better singer. I mean, we've had some amazing artists come out of American Idol, Carrie Underwood, Kelly Clarkson. But I don't watch them, so I really can't speak to them on a regular basis. You know, it might be that I won't even know who you're talking about.
I'm just getting into this season's one too, and I've probably forgotten half the ones that did the previous seasons on there too. I'll peek at them too, because I got to go scouting every now and then, because there are always some of the new talent to come off here, since we do highlight artists here on the program too. So let me ask you this: if you'd never gotten into the music industry, what other career path might you have taken?
Oh gosh, well, I'd love to be a detective. I do like anything to do with the detective work and how they figure out a case. I love the idea of the forensics and DNA and studying that kind of thing. So I'd probably be, in a lab somewhere trying to figure out, like I said, forensics, DNA, you know, evidence, that kind of thing.
I love that. Detective Jamie O'Neill on the next episode of the Backstage Pass to be continued. I like that too. It shall be a good featured show. Hey, best of luck with all the great shows coming up this weekend. And of course, JamieO'Neill.com for the tour dates, merchandise, all the good stuff out there, and the record Gypsum across all the DSPs out there for your listening pleasure, wherever you guys download or stream your music. Jamie, thanks for being a great friend to the show. Appreciate you coming back on, talking some music, and looking forward to hopefully connecting during CRS with many more surprises to come. And God bless you and your family.
Thank you so much, Brandon, to you and your family as well. Great to talk to you, and I hope to see you really soon.
You got it. Jamie O'Neill here, the Backstage Pass, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network, and THWN.org, and of course the SportsGuysPodcast.com. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. God bless.
Hey, everybody, this is Jarrett Ray Reddick, and you're listening to the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream on the SportsGuysPodcast.com and on THWN.org and on iHeartRadio podcasts.